Gentlemen, let me ask you a straight question. If someone told you that losing your eyesight as you get older is completely normal and you should just accept it, what would you think? I'm betting you'd find the best eye doctor you could to get checked out, right? So, why is it that when it comes to declining sexual health, we're so quick to accept vague explanations and just give up to old age? I'm Dr. Sarah Brown, and I've spent many years examining and treating men's health issues. I've seen far too many good men suffer unnecessarily simply because they weren't given the right information. In my previous videos, quite a few of you have emailed asking me to make a video about erectile dysfunction. So in this video, I'm going to cover the 3 most common misconceptions about erectile dysfunction and explain why they're dangerous. This will give you the most essential knowledge you need on this topic. So please watch this video carefully. And if you have any questions or concerns, please leave your comments below so I can respond and give you the most accurate advice for your specific needs. Let's get started. The first misconception I want to talk to you about today is something I hear almost every single day. Erectile dysfunction is just normal when you get older. And to understand why this belief has become so widespread, we need to understand where it comes from. The truth is, this idea does have some scientific basis, but it's been seriously misunderstood. Yes, as we age, our bodies go through natural changes. Testosterone levels drop about 1–2% each year after age 30. Blood vessels can become less flexible. The nervous system may respond more slowly. These are completely normal biological processes, but here's where people get it wrong. They think these changes automatically lead to ED. It's like believing that if your car has 200,000 miles on it, the engine must be shot. But what's the reality? If you maintain it properly, change the oil regularly, and check the brakes often, that car can still run smoothly for tens of thousands more miles. The human body works the same way. Age-related changes are just risk factors. They're not the direct cause of ED. Let me break this down for you. When testosterone drops 1–2% per year, this means at age 70, you still have about 60–70% of the hormone levels you had at 30. That's still plenty to maintain normal sexual function. Problems only arise when other factors get involved. Similarly, blood vessels becoming less flexible doesn't mean they can't function. It just means they need better care. With proper exercise and a healthy lifestyle, your blood vessels can still work effectively. So why is this misconception so dangerous? Because it creates what we call a self-fulfilling prophecy. When a man believes ED is normal, he won't look for the real causes. He accepts the condition and gradually withdraws from his sex life. This leads to stress, anxiety, and loss of confidence, psychological factors that make ED even worse. It's a vicious cycle I've seen far too many times, but even more dangerous. This misconception causes people to ignore real, treatable, underlying causes. ED rarely happens in isolation. It's usually a symptom of other health problems. Let me explain why ED actually occurs. An erection is a complex process that requires perfect coordination between the brain, nervous system, hormones, blood vessels, and psychology. When you become sexually aroused, your brain sends signals through the nervous system down to the genital area. These signals cause blood vessels in the penis to widen, allowing blood to flow in and create firmness. At the same time, the veins get compressed to keep the blood there. Now, imagine what happens when one of these gears malfunctions. If you have diabetes and high blood sugar, it damages small blood vessels, like sugar clogging up tiny water pipes. If you have high cholesterol, plaque buildup narrows the arteries and reduces blood flow. If you're taking blood pressure medication, some types can reduce the heart's pumping strength. If you're sleep-deprived or stressed, your body produces too much cortisol, which suppresses testosterone. This is why I always tell my patients that ED rarely stands alone. It's usually a warning sign that something else is going on in the body, and this is why blaming age is dangerous. It makes us miss opportunities to detect and treat other serious health problems. I remember a 68-year-old patient who came to see me with a very dismissive attitude. "Doc, I know at my age this stuff is normal," but when I ran blood tests, I discovered he had undiagnosed type 2 diabetes. After getting his blood sugar under control and making some simple lifestyle changes, not only did his ED improve significantly, but he also avoided serious diabetes complications like blindness and kidney failure. That's exactly what I want you to understand. Age may create changes, but ED is not an inevitable consequence, and when it does appear, instead of accepting it, we should see it as an opportunity to better understand our overall health. But if you think the first misconception was dangerous enough, brace yourself for what I'm about to share next. The second misconception might be even more concerning, because it doesn't just affect your sex life, it could be silently threatening your very life. The second misconception is this: ED is just a psychological problem. It has nothing to do with your health. And I have to be straight with you. This belief is not only completely wrong, but understanding it correctly could actually save your life. To help you understand why I say that, let me tell you about David, a 62-year-old who came to see me last month. He walked into my office looking a bit embarrassed and said, "Doc, I think my problem is just work stress. My heart is completely healthy, and I still go to the gym regularly. It's just that I've been a little tense lately, so you know what I mean." I listened and suggested we run some basic tests to rule out other causes. He pushed back a little. "Doc, that's not necessary." I'm sure this is just psychological, but I still encouraged him to get tested, including a heart ultrasound. 2 weeks later, David called me back. "The cardiologist says I have 2 blocked coronary arteries. If we hadn't found this, I could have had a heart attack at any time." David's story isn't rare. In fact, it illustrates a medical truth that many people don't know. ED is often the earliest warning sign of heart problems, typically appearing 3 to 5 years before other heart symptoms show up. To understand why this happens, I need to explain how your blood vessels work. Imagine your body's blood vessel system like a network of water pipes. The large arteries that supply blood to your heart are about 3 to 4 millimeters in diameter. But the small arteries in the male genital area are only about 1 to 2 millimeters, less than half the size. Now, imagine what happens when you develop blood vessel problems, maybe high cholesterol creating plaque buildup, or high blood pressure damaging vessel walls, or high blood sugar inflaming small blood vessels. Where will these problems affect you first? Obviously, the smallest pipes, meaning the blood vessels in the genital area. This is exactly why cardiologists today consider ED the early warning light of the cardiovascular system. Just like the check engine light in your car, it signals that something's not right inside, even when you don't feel any other symptoms yet. Research from the European Society of Cardiology shows that 70% of ED cases stem from blood vessel problems. Men with ED have a 1.5 times higher risk of heart disease, 1.4 times higher risk of stroke, and 1.2 times higher risk of death from cardiovascular causes compared to men without ED. But this isn't just about heart problems. ED can also be an early sign of diabetes. When blood sugar stays high for long periods, it damages small blood vessels and nerves. Once again, the genital area with its ultra-small blood vessels gets affected first. Statistics show that men with ED have a 1.4 times higher risk of developing type 2 diabetes. And there's even more. ED can be a sign of sleep apnea, complex hormone problems, or even early neurological conditions. So why is the belief that ED is just psychological so dangerous? Because it causes people to ignore these important warning signs. They might convince themselves that they just need to reduce stress, get more rest, or change their attitude, and everything will be fine. Meanwhile, serious health problems are silently developing. I don't want to scare you, but I've witnessed too many tragic cases. I've had men come to me after suffering heart attacks who told me, "Doc, I actually had ED problems for 2 years, but I thought it was just work stress." Now, let me be clear. I'm not dismissing psychological factors. Stress, anxiety, and depression can all contribute to or worsen ED. But even when psychological factors are involved, we still shouldn't ignore the possibility of underlying physical causes. Think about it this way. If you have persistent headaches, you might think it's from stress. But a good doctor will still want to rule out other causes like high blood pressure, vision problems, or even brain tumors before concluding it's just tension headaches. ED works the same way. So how do you know when to worry? There are some warning signs you shouldn't ignore. If ED appears suddenly rather than gradually, if it comes with symptoms like chest pain during exertion, shortness of breath, or unusual fatigue, you need to see a doctor immediately. If you have a family history of heart disease, diabetes, or stroke, ED might be an early warning sign you shouldn't wait for, even if ED develops gradually and you don't have any other concerning symptoms. I still recommend getting a comprehensive health checkup. This should include blood tests to check cholesterol, blood sugar, and hormones, and possibly a heart ultrasound or other tests, depending on your specific situation. But what I'm about to share next might surprise you even more. The third misconception isn't just common. It can turn a solvable problem into a genuinely dangerous situation. And sadly, I see 9 out of 10 men make this mistake. The third misconception I'm about to share with you is probably what worries me most in my daily practice. It's this: ED pills are the only solution and they're completely safe. Before I talk about the dangers of ED medications, I can't deny the benefits they do provide. ED medications are products designed for men to help maintain firm erections and extend intimate time. The market offers many types formulated as tablets, sprays, or topical applications. Generally speaking, ED medications can provide clear benefits for men experiencing situations like helping men improve the loss of ability or desire for intimacy, for a smaller penis size. ED drugs can help increase size and maintain the state longer, promoting more active and passionate engagement that men previously lacked. When you still feel desire during intimacy, but the penis can't achieve firmness, ED medication helps maintain firmness during the process, extending intimate time to the maximum for men experiencing declining sexual function. ED medications are also used to improve erectile dysfunction quickly and effectively. Some ED medications contain small amounts of desire-stimulating substances to help intimacy proceed smoothly and with more emotion. Those are the positive aspects these medications can provide. The problem starts with how we understand ED medications. Many people think that because drugs like Viagra and Cialis can be easily purchased online and because they're widely advertised, they must be safe. They treat them like vitamins. Take them when needed. Nothing to worry about. But the reality is completely different. To understand why, I need to explain how these medications work. ED drugs work by inhibiting an enzyme called PDE5, which allows blood vessels to dilate more and blood to flow into the genital area more easily. Sounds simple, but the problem is these drugs don't just affect blood vessels in the genital area, they affect your entire circulatory system. This means your blood pressure will drop. For a healthy person, this usually doesn't cause problems. But for people with existing heart conditions or who are taking certain other medications, this can become a dangerous situation. Particularly dangerous is the interaction with nitrate medications, drugs commonly prescribed for heart patients to relieve chest pain. When ED drugs combine with nitrates, they create a double whammy effect. Both dilate blood vessels, leading to severe blood pressure drops that can be fatal. This isn't a rare occurrence. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration has documented hundreds of deaths related to this interaction. The problem doesn't stop with heart medications. ED drugs can also dangerously interact with blood pressure medications, antidepressants, and even some antibiotics. They can also cause serious side effects in people with liver or kidney problems, or those with a history of stroke. This is exactly what I want you to understand. ED medications may have a role in treatment, but they shouldn't be the first or only choice. And they definitely shouldn't be used without medical supervision. If used incorrectly, in excessive doses, or continuously over time, you may experience these problems. Changes in blood nitric oxide levels can cause headaches, pale complexion, and other issues when using too much ED medication. Excessive use of ED drugs causes dizziness, drops in blood pressure, or constant discomfort with daily activities. More seriously, it can lead to fainting. Your body experiences aches and pains, back pain for many consecutive days, due to the medication affecting blood vessels and nerves when used too frequently, digestive system effects and disorders causing nausea, indigestion, diarrhea. This is especially common in men who regularly use beer, alcohol, or stimulants. People using too much medication or poor quality drugs may experience vision effects like blurred vision, hallucinations, or more severely, retinal inflammation. While this varies by individual constitution and rarely occurs, you still need to be aware. Hot flashes and skin burning for certain periods. Red skin appears on the face and can spread to other parts of the body, causing water blisters and more serious conditions if it spreads and develops into rashes. This is when skin becomes seriously irritated and you need additional specialized treatment. So there you have it. We've walked through the 3 biggest misconceptions about erectile dysfunction together. 3 lies that society has convinced millions of men to believe, causing them to accept an incomplete life when it's completely unnecessary. Remember that ED is not a disease of aging. It's a signal that provides early warning about other important health issues. And medication, while it may be helpful, is not the only or safest path to solving this problem. Before we wrap up, I want to ask you, of the 3 misconceptions we just discussed, which one surprised you the most? Which one did you use to believe? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. Sharing not only helps you reinforce this new knowledge, but it might also help other men who are in similar situations. And if this video has given you useful information, please hit the like button and share it with people you think need to hear this. Sometimes, a video shared at just the right moment can completely change someone's life. Remember, your health is your most valuable asset. Don't let these misconceptions steal away your happy years. Thank you for taking the time to listen. I'll see you in the next video, where I'll share specific natural methods to improve men's health. Have a great day. And remember, age is just a number. Health is the real measure of life.